you have to spend before you can afford it, right? A lot of times I've experienced this multiple times in my life when I was faced with an opportunity where I had to jump off the ledge and learn how to fly to be able to become the man that I wanted to be. Right before I became a six-figure entrepreneur, I had to embody that every day. The mindset, the beliefs, the daily habits, the routines, the actions, but also the risks, the investments. I had to spend. I had to invest coaches that I couldn't afford, right? I told you guys this story multiple times where there was two times. I mean, there was multiple times, so many times where when I was first forced into doing online training and really going all into this journey, I was working two trainer jobs. I was working at Fitness 19, right? Worked there for about a year, right? And about, I already knew in the beginning, I started making 19 bucks an hour. Within a year, I was making like 23, 24 bucks an hour as a trainer and getting like 10% commissions off my packages. But I was closing $10,000 a month in packages and only getting a grand of that, right? I was working there like 20, 30 hours a week. And then I was working at GNC supplement store for 40 hours, 30 to 40 hours a week. So I was working in like 60 to 80 hour weeks, right? Then I realized that the most I could make at Fitness 19 was I think it was like 32 bucks an hour. With a 20% commission, right? So I saw, well, I could work here for the next couple of years and I was still not being where I wanted to be, not even close. So that's when I joined Equinox, one of the top tier gyms in the country, right? I got there and I worked there for about 2 months before COVID happened, right? 2 months, I got that job and they already started me out 32 bucks an hour. What I would have been making 3-4 years later at Fitness 19. They started me at 32 bucks an hour with potential. If I signed up enough clients in a month, they didn't do it based off commission, but if I signed up past the minimum standard, I would make 45 bucks per hour per session, right? And then the max potential is to become an X trainer, which would probably take anywhere from a few years to, it could never happen because you have to get certain certifications, right? And but you can make $100 an hour. If you beat the minimum standard, you can make like 125 or something, because those trainers, X trainers, get charged like 200, 250 an hour, right? And so I joined Equinox for 2 months. But even then I knew like I wanted to run my own business, right? I wanted to make my own brand. And so COVID-19 made that happen. The best thing that ever could happen to me, right? The best thing that could ever happen to me. Actually, that inspires me to make another video about how COVID was the best thing that ever happened to me. But forced me into doing online training, right? And from there, I only had like $5,000 at the time to my name, right? Both COVID-19 happened, all the gyms got shut down, got laid off my jobs, and automatically I could not train anymore. All my income was gone, right? So I was already talking to this mentor online. Morning. I was already talking to this mentor online to do this, right? And so I invested a few $1,000s into this $8,000 program, right? That's all I could invest at the time. And I went all into online training, and it forced me. I had to pay that $8,000 program. I only put in $3,000. I could not afford it. I didn't have the money for it, but I had to invest in it to get where I wanted to be. And then a year later, I got to the position where I was making just as much, actually more money than I was making working at GNC and the trainer job, doing my own business online. A year later, right? I had to step into it then, right? And then next, about a year later, I had to face with another opportunity. I was stuck, only making a few grand a month, right? And I wanted to get to 6 figures. I wanted to make $10,000 a month, right? And I was stuck at this barrier, making 3 to 4K a month, right? At the time, my bills were about $3,000 a month, right? So I only had like $500 to invest, right? At the time, into this coach who I know, who I knew could get me to the next level, who I had faith that could make me get to 10K. And he said he could. His program was $10,000, right? And I only had $500 down payment. He said he'd let me get in. I just had to go balls the walls over 90 days and crush it, right? So I invested $500, fear, limiting beliefs, self-doubt, could not afford it. I could not afford it, right? But I spent it. I spent the $500. And more importantly, I spent my time, my energy, my blood, sweat, and tears over the course of 90 days. And guess what happened? Guess what happened, homie? Guess what happened, brother? Guess what happened? Over the course of the first 30 days, I went from making around 3.5K to making 9.5K in my first 30 days. And guess what? Guess what? You got it messed up. You think it's the business strategies. You think it's what I learned from the coach. Sure, him getting on a weekly call, new business strategies, mindset, totally helped. But no, I made a commitment by joining that program that I was going to go all in, fully committed, fully desired towards hitting 10K, and I made 9.5K in my first 30 days. And in fact, over the course of the whole entire program, right, because the next month and the next month, I made more and more. I made roughly around 40K in 90 days, right? Because I was fully committed, I had the desire, and I was willing to spend before I could afford, and I leveled up. I leveled up, right? So that's why you guys watching this right now, if you're stuck at the level you're at, it's because you're too comfortable with what you have and what you got. And you're not willing to invest. You're not willing to stretch yourself. You're not willing to grow. You're not willing to put yourself in a risky position to do so. You guys want comfort. You want security. And guess what? That's the opposite of growth. That's the opposite of living. That's the opposite of building a 7, 8, 9-figure business. If you have a problem spending $3, $6, $10, $20,000, how do you expect to make $1 million a year? You won't. Even me, I want to build a 9-figure business, not over $100 million a year. Man, I need to start embodying that now. Just how I embody becoming a 6-figure entrepreneur, I'm figuring out how I can become a 7-figure entrepreneur. And I cannot be afraid to spend a few hundred or a few thousand or 10 or 20, 30,000 if I want to make $1 million. And neither can you. Neither could you. If you really want to get ripped, you got to spend that money to get ripped. If you really want that relationship, you got to spend the money, the time, the energy, the intention to have amazing relationships. If you want to build a network, the brand, the legacy, build the business, make the money, impact the lives, you got to be willing to take risks and spend before you could afford, right? All right, guys, that's the video for today. It's Devin Kripe with DC Fitness, my Spartan Gods, and my Beast Mode brothers, helping them become ripped, rich, and rare, 6-pack, 6 figures, and a sick relationship. All right, guys, you can find me at Devin Kripe on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me there, connect with me there. Lots of free content on mindset, business, fitness, personal development, right? You can message me, Beast Mode, if you want to join the Beast Mode movement, where we go beast mode towards our goals. And also you can message me to get summer shredded, get ripped and jacked. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, share with your family and friends. Somebody needs to see this. Spread the word, spread the message. All right, God bless. Later.